Hey guys, it's Petra Forrest, and today I want to discuss energy vampires. Now, I haven't heard this term in a while, so I was kind of surprised to have a couple different people mention it to me. It's kind of an old school term to label people like toxic people kind of terminology. Energy vampire. What is an energy vampire? Do vampires even exist? I don't know. So let me share my thoughts on what I think an energy vampire is. An energy vampire is somebody who needs a lot of external validation, essentially, and they need it from people. If they're not doing internal work, they're going to seek out external things to make them feel whole and complete and safe and loved and cared about. So they'll go and they'll seek it outside of themselves. Now, this is kind of what happens with people who are energy vampires. Due to a deep longing and a deep need and a desire and insecurity, unfortunately, they're going to seek constant validation for what they're doing in their life, how they're looking, how they're acting, how they're feeling, how they're thinking, all these different things. So when you're hanging out with somebody who is potentially an energy vampire, the conversation or the interaction might look something kind of like this. I don't know how I'm feeling or what I'm looking like, or, is that person talking about me? I don't know, is that person talking about me? I just, they constantly need external reinforcement for their behavior and how they're feeling and how they're looking. And geez, that's exhausting. That's why when you're hanging out with somebody who is potentially an energy vampire, you can feel drained, you can feel depleted by them because they are in constant need and want, because they're not doing the internal work. Now, if you're doing the internal work, you can kind of recognize that. And here's a couple of tips or pointers if you're spending time with somebody who is an energy vampire. One, you can just limit your time with them if it's too much for you, because sometimes being around somebody like that is kind of sad, unfortunately, that they can't see their own self-worth, so they need to constantly seek it outside of themselves. Two, if you do encounter spending time with somebody like this, you can ignore their comments. You don't have to respond to them. You don't have to keep filling up their cup, because that is going to deplete your energy. That is going to exhaust you. It's like a cup that has a hole in the bottom of it, and it can never seem to get filled up. And it won't. You can't do it. They can only do it for themselves. So that's kind of what an energy vampire is to me. Somebody whose internal cup is completely depleted, and they have to do the work themselves in order to see themselves the way that you see them. Because maybe you see them as a wonderful, kind, caring, loving, happy, beautiful, smart person, but they will never be able to get enough external validation to feel that way about themselves until they start doing the internal work. That's why when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, doing internal work, doing self-care, self-love kind of work, it's so important, because you don't want to be an energy vampire to somebody else. You don't want to keep constantly seeking out external things. You're going to be the person who's an energy vampire in somebody else's life if you do that. It all has to start with yourself internally. So anyways, no judgment to people who are energy vampires, and hopefully this gives you a little bit more understanding and love and compassion, not only for them, but for yourself, because maybe at some point in your life, you've been an energy vampire to somebody. I know I have. So much love to everybody, you guys. If you like this video, as always, give it a thumbs up or share with friends. Thank you so much for watching, and you all have a beautiful day.